Well, that's a pleasant thing. What's up, everybody? Films with 8 here, playing more NieR. And depending on how fast this all goes, we might finish this today, because we have done all of the side quests and side content that I want to do. That last little bit, had to do a little bit of off-screen farming. I might have cheesed it a little bit there. Yeah, that was the very last thing on my to-do list, was grow ourselves a nice lunar tier, which I think is beautiful. So let's jump into this. I really have no idea how long it's going to take when I have no other distractions aside from main plot. We will see. Let Emil, Kaine know we're sorry, alright? We're not going to do anything about it. I know I've brought that up twice already, but it's still kind of wild. Yeah, I remembered a thing that I wanted to talk about last time, so now I have two things I want to talk about. But we shall activate the side quest. Again, I'm skipping through some of the dialogue here, but I don't want the dialogue to necessarily distract from my thoughts. So we'll jumpstart everything we need to, and then we'll get into it. Really terrifying. A lot of the kids in this game are really kind of creepy. I don't think much of that is intentional, but it happens quite a lot. I want to apologize. Nope, don't you dare. And now I'm going to help you go fight the Shadowlord. Like, she just directly gives us that. So, thanks, man. Alright. Let's get to the Lost Shrine before we dive into it. I have a feeling, I think I'm probably going to push it over 3 hours for today's session, but I think I can get it done today. The thing I need to keep in mind is I have to do the final push twice. But that time, I think I'm just going to, the second time around, I think I'm going to just skip cutscenes. Yep. In order to unlock endings. Here's a minor, okay, I have 3 things I want to talk about. Here's a minor thing. Which is that apparently the remaster of this game has a 5th ending. It has an ending E, which is, I will tell you right now, baffling to me. I don't want to give away too many details if this is your first time experiencing NieR, but what I will say is the 4th ending is very clearly supposed to be the last one you see. And that's not to necessarily to say it's the best ending or the worst ending or anything like that. I don't want to give away how I feel about it or editorialize on a set of endings where I think everyone could get different emotional and plot takeaways from each of them. But in terms of what order you were supposed to see all the endings, the 4th one is definitely last, and that's going to make a lot of sense when we get to that one. And it leaves me very, very curious and a little baffled as to how and why they would implement a 5th ending. But we'll get to that when we get to it. Hey, Gretel. Still a bummer, huh? You're built different, we know. Alright. I don't think I'm gonna, except for that thing I specifically just mentioned for after our 3rd ending, I don't think I'm gonna skip any cutscenes this time around. But most of them we have seen before, and especially now that we've seen the Shade dialogue, we have seen this version of them already, I believe. I'll be on my lookout for anything that changes, but I think most of this should be the same. So yeah, why don't we jump into it? One of them was the question of... What? Jeez, Emil, you don't have to pop into screen like in that particular manner. That really was a jump scare. Why NieR in particular became the Shadowlord? Why is he in charge of everything? I think reading through both the documents that we get from Devola and Popola at the end, and then also a lot of the loading screens actually hint that this process of separating soul from body was really not successful in the early days, and perhaps the main character, like, it was just a medical thing of the main character just happened to be the first success and thus became super important to the Gestalt project as a whole. I think that's kind of meant to be the takeaway. Again, I'm curious if there's any super NieR experts. Again, if there's anything related to Automata, please don't spoil that, because I've not played any of that yet, and I'm excited to get to that. But if there's any non-Automata insight you can lend us there, I'm curious how much of the world building has been fleshed out. But we're little cute little shades. You want to put us away? So yeah, that was the main thing. Is I think I had my big question last time of how could NieR, the guy from the gas station, end up being so important, and if it's just a matter of, well, who's the first successful test subject, that I think that's a valid enough excuse for how NieR ended up being super important. I think, like, spoiler alert, this does not affect what ending we get, but I think this time around, let's play a little bit into the Undertale / Signalis / Silent Hill of it all, of maybe we don't have to slaughter them all. Maybe I'm so devoted to getting to my daughter that rather than interpreting that as I need to kill every enemy that stands in my way, I can interpret it as I don't have time to waste with fighting these guys. I need to just rush past them so I can get to my daughter as soon as possible. Why don't we play up a different role-playing style so that when we get a different ending, it will feel perhaps even more justified. That might be a fun way to do it. But it's also very interesting that, because I did not remember this. Again, I don't really remember. I really only remember the last ending. I did not realize. I'm curious how much of this will stay true for the other two.
This is all too easy.
I think the introduction to Route C made it very clear that I think it specifically says play through it one more time and make one final choice to affect how the story plays out. So spoiler alert, yeah, there will be a choice, and with that in mind, I don't think it's a very strong spoiler to say ending C and D are very, very for sure different storylines that branch out. What was interesting, what I had forgotten, is that ending A and ending B are not really exclusive to each other. You could absolutely read. I mean, in ending A we get a slight flash of Shadowlord and Shade Yonah, but on the whole, you could absolutely just say, yeah, ending A and ending B just both happen the first time around. Whereas these next couple bits are going to be very clearly Drakengard style. The endings are definitively different, like diverging path lines of how the story could go. So that's just kind of an interesting thought. But yeah, well, actually, let's because we're gonna be getting we're breezing through this temple, and we're gonna be getting look at the shades all swarming trying to get to me. They want me, but they're not gonna have me. They haven't earned me. We're gonna get through Lost Shrine. I think it's gonna go pretty quick, and then we're gonna get another big chunk of story before it lets us loose to go track down the Cerberus key. What's the name of the thing? Loyal Cerberus is only one of the 4 bits. I don't even remember what the name of the overall thing is.
Certainly not your garden variety shade.
But before we jump into my last big talking point,
a cursed area.
We'll get through Lost Shrine.
Shades gather.
That's really, I hadn't really thought about that. Like, now that I'm not too focused on I have to make sure I don't miss anything, weirdly, I can pay more attention to it, if that makes any more sense. And I can process it more. The idea of incomplete shades gather here makes it all the more tragic that we're coming through and killing a ton of them. because I guess the kind of implication there is that this particular area, the Lost Shrine, is a holy place where it's an island of misfit toys. So shades come here to be out of the way of everything else. They don't want to mess with anybody, but they're still going to defend their territory if someone hostile looking comes in and starts killing them. So that's a fun, great, cool thing. Alright. Thanks guys for showing up once the puzzle's over. Let me do the hard part, I guess. Excuse me. Excuse me. Ah, they're blocking the way? Okay. I'll kill some of you. But it's getting to the point where I'm just... for the first 2 playthroughs, a lot of it was also legitimately, you know, even though I was saying it kind of facetiously because I knew the big twist, legitimately part of me was thinking, it is XP. It is going to be useful if I kill a ton of enemies now so that I can level up a ton. On this playthrough, I'm now high level enough that I don't need to be getting any higher level. I'm good. I can... I'll be able to handle myself. Yeah, do I even need to... Oh, even Kaine and Emil are just fucking that guy up. But we don't even need to kill that guy. Unless we want his complex machine. I can't believe there's 6 complex machines. I mean, technically, like, if you check the Wikipedia... poor little guy. Oh, we even got the more insight into the Gestalt. I forgot about that line. Yeah, if you look up like Wikipedia of simple machines, there's technically like a ton of ones that are not technically the same as other ones. Like a gear is very similar to wheel and axle, but technically the makeup of it is not the same. So, like, there's tons of like subcategories and minor iterations. But when you look up the main simple machines, yeah, there's only 6. I was just wrong about that the whole time. So with that in mind, my tier list remains... Well, actually, I didn't do a tier list, did I? I just divided them into based and cringe. Should we do it? Let's do... Since we're not getting into our big talking point yet, let's do our minor talking point of the simple machines. Lever, it's going to be controversial, because it's still very simple, but it's also pretty hype and very versatile. And also, apparently, I saw, because I was looking this up, there was a straw poll of what the best simple machines are, and this one did win, and I agree with it. Lever is S tier. We're going to put Lever as S tier. It is... There's some thinking that goes into it. I think I do have to kill these guys before they let me in. Yeah. There's some thinking that goes into that. There's science behind it that's cool and neat, and it's cool, and it, you know, it sounds super sciencey. So that's a positive thing. I like that. What are the other 3 good ones? Wheel and axle, pulley, and shit. Now I still can't remember them. Screw. Lever is like the only one that's definitively S tier, I actually would say. Wheel and axle, I feel like, you know, wheels get rusty. They can wheels and axles can fail you when levers can't. But they're still pretty handy. Like the wheels are wheels, you know, most important invention of all time, I guess. So we can put wheel safely at A tier. And pulley at B tier. The thing about pulleys is that they're just not... It's tedious to set a pulley up. Whereas, like, that's why levers are so cool, is you can make a lever out of anything, but it's still nice and sciencey, unlike the 2 dumb ones. Pulley's just not as practical as all the other ones. In fact, I might actually put screw... I mean, how many tiers do we have? We got... When I do a tier list, I like to have at least something in every category. So, if we only have 6 machines, we got S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier and F tier. For some reason, we as a society have just given up on using E in any grading system ever. I don't understand why, but that's just the way of the world, so we'll keep that in mind, I guess. So it feels... No, I wouldn't... C is still a passing grade. C is still passing. So I'm happy putting Screw at B tier. You know, it's hard to make your own homemade screw, but it's pretty chill. It's pretty cool. I would put Pulley at C tier. I like how complex it is, but it's actually slightly too complex. It's getting to the point where it's not really a simple machine anymore. I don't know how to make my own pulley. Like, I could if I needed to, but on a practical level, it's just not on the same level as the ones above it. But it's still a passing grade.
Damn it.
And then I think I'm going to put Inclined Plane at D tier. It gets points because, like, ramps are legitimately super useful and nice and important. Oh no, I hope she's going to be okay. She's going to be okay, guys, don't worry. Like, wheelchair ramps are nice. That's a cool, positive thing that humanity did. And we wouldn't have wheelchair ramps without inclined planes. So they get points for that. Way at the bottom is a wedge. Come on. Like, I get... And also, the reason I put it below F tier is not because wedges are not useful. I admit, wedges are useful, and they're also, like... Much like a lever, it's strange, the dichotomy. They're two sides of the same coin. Because there's also a lot of... In the same way you can make anything a lever out of anything, there's also a lot of things you can use as a wedge. And that is the versatility... Ooh, maybe I should flip. But no, wheelchair ramps are good. Wheelchair ramps give the edge here. Wedges just... I feel like wedges talk a big game. And they like to strut around and think they're so cool, but it's just a pointed thing. That's all it is.
I fear there is little we can do.
And also, like, yeah, if you have a really sharp wedge, you can do a lot of shit with that. If you have a slightly dull wedge, it's useless. You know how many knives in my kitchen right now are useless as wedges because they're just not sharp enough anymore? Like,
What is that?
a lever's gonna be good as a lever until the thing fully breaks. Whereas a wedge will still continue to technically be a wedge, but it becomes a very impractical wedge very quickly, depending on how sharp it is. If it dulls, if it gets, like... If it loses 20% of its sharpness, it's now a really bad wedge. You know what I mean? Is that crazy? Is that a hot take? I don't care. I don't give a shit. Let the wedges come for me. I don't care. Lever gang rise up. Lever gang for life. Ow.
Look at Kaine's shade.
We've no other choice. We must strike.
Sorry, that wedge didn't hurt me that much, Kaine's shade. I don't know. Is this technically Kaine or is it Tyran? I don't know, like, physically... Technically, if I'm fighting Kaine or just Tyran. Shit. Multiple of those hit, and I don't feel like I...
Magic is required against
Oh, it's
this
because
foe.
I knocked it to the level it needed to be.
Oh dear.
Oh, we get to have Emil's fun speech. Again, not fun, but
Kaine.
mechanically cool speech in that it wrests control away from me as the player.
I can't be with you.
We're always going to be together, Kaine. If you transform again, I don't care how tough
Although I
it is.
can take
like
control if
living
I just
outside
skip through it even faster than he
and
can
weak
say it.
and sad. You're my friend, and I need you, so you can't go away.
I'll let some of this go. Oh, that might be the end. Sorry.
All right. All right. Stop crying. Thank you. I'm all right.
So I don't remember if I've asked this last time. Was that object there the whole time? Like, could I have just picked this up when I rescued Yonah the first time and I just didn't see it? It is kind of cute that truly any time anything mysterious or interesting happens and they don't know what to do, they're just like, well, Popola will tell us what to do. Looks like it's the key to deciphering the Shadowlord's castle. I'll help you do that for some reason. Once we just kill everyone on the other side of the ocean, everything will be okay, right? Alright. Oh, right, one more thing. Oh, just one more thing. Fuck Kaine and Emil. Alright, jump heap first, get that out of the way. I'm realizing jump heap should actually go pretty fast. Since now we know exactly where to go, and I don't feel the need to go out of my way for any reason. You know what I mean? I know it like the back of my hand now. So yeah, let's just knock that out. Curious if we will get even more unique dialogue when he tries to give us the sword a third time. Alright, I keep pushing off the big topic that I keep saying I'm going to bring up. And I'm going to keep doing that. When we get to the robot dungeon and there's nothing to talk about aside from, wow, there sure are a lot of robots in here, that's when we'll bring it up. But we gotta talk to we gotta watch Gideon, we gotta watch Jacob die again, and then watch Gideon go insane and be like, gotta kill those robots for me, please. And then we'll go kill the robots, and then we'll talk. We'll talk. Having fun down there, guys? Oh yeah, I'm probably have a couple medicinal herbs I need to be picking up, right? Since my items carry over from the last playthrough. And I definitely had to use... Oh, I guess I only had to use 2. Nice. Although I probably used several health salves, so keep an eye out for those as well. Thanks, Emil. God damn it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Very Three Stooges-esque. That's how I would describe the main character of this game, actually. It's very Three Stooges-esque. I don't know if there's any better descriptor for how he likes to operate. Okay, in order to stop myself from fully breaking this time around, I am going to talk over the scene a little bit, but I won't deny it's already getting to me again. Positive thing is that I listened closer to those voices that time around. That's definitely not us. Those are just other random people that are breaking into the factory and fucking shit up. So at least we don't have to feel direct guilt for killing Khalil's mom, right? We just have to feel guilt for killing Khalil, the child. But we don't have to do that yet. We got an hour or two before we gotta do that. That's a positive thing, right, guys? Yay! I've done this before. I tried to compartmentalize my feelings by just complimenting how good the game is at making me feel feelings. The sound design for the Young Shades is very effective. I feel like for some people they probably find that noise annoying, which is fair. It is a very high-pitched, shrill noise. But
you.
there is something about it, particularly when you can also see the character model on screen, and really, like, it makes it easier to emotionally connect with the sounds you are hearing. It's really hard to get through that scene, because the sound design is very good in terms of making you feel for this, you know, slightly alien iteration of a crying child. You know, it's not the exact same noise, but it's close enough, and you understand the context that that is essentially what it is, that, yeah, it still makes you feel really... Still makes me feel really terrible and bad inside. I don't know if that's
There's gotta be tons of machinery here.
Universal experience or not, but it definitely
how much we can actually use.
gets me in the gut pretty
Wow.
badly.
Check this out. It looks brand new.
Hey, be careful there.
I'm fine.
They didn't have to have that specific line delivery be so
No.
shitlordy. I'm fine. As he does the thing that causes his own brother to die. If they wanted me to have more sympathy for Gideon's fall into madness, they could have made him less of a shit kid in these earlier scenes. Okay, I really want to watch closely, because this was my interpretation both times I've seen the scene, but it's kind of wild, because that's not how arms work. Does he pull Jacob's arm off here? It doesn't seem like he lets go of the arm. It seems like he falls backwards while still holding onto the arm. And, like, the only way that's possible is if the arm comes loose, right? But the injury Jacob sustained, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Maybe he did just let go of the arm and fell backwards, because that was the moment of realizing, oh yeah, he's gone. Maybe that's what that was supposed to be. But it really seems like he has an iron, like, grip on the arm, and then while still holding onto it, he stumbles a foot or two backwards, which is wild.
The noise of the intruder. One intruder has...
Anyways, let's beat up some robots. Let's not think too hard about that, right?
The junk heap.
I like how I called Gideon a shit kid, and it's like, that's fully a child who just is way too young to be processing the fact that his mother is gone forever. And weird, oh, I didn't even make the connection. I mean, Khalil doesn't have a brother, so it's not the exact same arc, but both Gideon and Khalil losing their mothers to, quote-unquote, the enemy, and having to process that at an age where they're way too young to deserve that. I mean, no one deserves to go through that, but particularly young kids definitely don't. I hadn't made that connection because so much of Act 2 is focused around Gideon losing Jacob rather than losing his mom.
Oh.
Oh, I gotta pretend to go? Right. Alright, what's he gonna say? Two-handed sword, iron will. Do we not already have this weapon? Shh, this happens. Oh, interesting. Weiss still calls it the second time around, even though it's definitely... The game knows it's not. That's interesting. I guess Weiss isn't omniscient after all. I was about to say omnipotent. It's like, we know he's not omnipotent. He's a fucking book. He's a magic book that can do a lot of cool shit. He's definitely not omnipotent. The game does know we're not... Yeah, the game... All three of my save files recognize that I've gotten ending B already, so... I legitimately got a little bit worried about that since Weiss called it the second time, but no, I think that's just because... They are doing the same shit as before. Alright, time to get into our talking points.
It's a shame.
How did I get a memory alloy? What? Wait, what the fuck? Did I just... Am I... Do I get to skip this part because I did the cool thing the first time? And when I say cool thing, I mean I was hunting for titanium alloys and got unreasonably pissed that at one point they dropped a memory alloy instead. But is that all I need? Yeah, we're already activating another cutscene. Hell yeah.
Seagoing vessel. You have taught you. You have. Because we.
Alright, and the next is Forest of Myth, right? So we can knock that out while we're on the Northern Plains too. For that one, that's a lot of text. And I'm still going to be on the lookout to see if anything changes, though I'm pretty sure nothing will change. If it didn't change the second time, it feels weird if it would change the third time. But regardless, I'm going to be paying a little bit of close attention to that. It's pretty impressive stuff. Yeah, I found it in a different world. Cool. Alright, we are 1/5 of the way. Since we're halfway done with the Junk Heap quest. And there's 4 other ones. Facade is longer than... Wait, what's the... What am I missing? There's not one in Seafront, is there? Are there only... I thought there were 5, but does the Lost Shrine count? Wait, but I'm still... Hang on. Oh, Airy. We definitely still have to do Airy. So, yeah, it's like... I feel like there's one really big one I'm missing. What is it? It's the accidental genocide one. Yay. But yeah, we're like 1/5 of the way there since we're halfway done with Junk Heap, and there's... that's the only one that's like truly split into 2. You could technically say Facade is split into 2, but that's really just... The first half is literally just prepping for the wedding, which takes like 5 minutes. It sucks that there's only 2... I wish there was a jog for the boar, because it's very hard to change direction when you're sprinting, and when you're not sprinting, it's really slow. It's slower than just rolling, I'm almost positive. So having to readjust to get onto the bridge is legitimately, I don't think, worth my time. That's how slow it is. And I wish there was just a jog so that I could adjust my direction a little bit faster. But yeah, I would say we're 1/5 of the way there since Junk Heap is divided into 2. Facade is basically one thing. This one should go by quick. Airy, despite how impactful it is, goes by relatively quick. And then... shit, I keep forgetting. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Hey, man. I like how I keep putting off my talking points. But at some point, we will find a point where it will make sense to go get into it. Probably Airy. Black, pure darkness, painted over everything. Words scattered here and there across the blackness. Kind words, difficult words, amorous words, all sparkling in the dark like jewels. Okay, I do think that is the same one. The words were... But you can understand why, if I didn't remember this particular set of text the first time, when I read the words were few now, but time was shorter, the second time, I might think to myself, ooh, that sounds like it might be different, but I don't think so. Grabbing words of desperation, treat to the side, this is wrong, it's not how it's supposed to be, plan has failed. So the plan probably refers to Project Gestalt, right? The tree had remembered everything about the world. This was its task, its purpose. Shiver was something approaching joy that collected the memories of mankind. Emotions were as much part of the tree as root and bark. Memories collected like dew on the thick green leaves of the tree. God, these stories are really good. And this, I will never get over how cool this one is. Just very subtly, hey, here's the start of everything. But that memory's been lost. It was a favorite of mine. So interesting, it seems like if we're interpreting the plan has failed thing as this tree was a deliberate part of Project Gestalt, kind of wild. I mean, I guess we know from Emil's mansion that they just flat out were using magic. It's not just like it's not a thing where it seems to be magic, but technically it's sci-fi. It's like, no, they were using magic. Still feels wild that with those like test results of white chlorination syndrome and everything, that also apparently humanity was like, and we'll also input all of our memories into this magic tree. And also, like, do the shades not deserve to have the memories? Because the tree is holding on to it for them, right? But I don't know if the tree even realizes what happened, because it seems way happier to see NieR and Weiss than the shade. Oh! What? Wait, is it not green? It's always been green, hadn't it? What the hell? Did I slip past where I was supposed to? I could have sworn I'd picked green. For a second I thought it was letting me skip over all of it, but I don't think so. I mean, I know so now, because I gotta do it again. Alright, it gets to I implore you. I'm pretty sure I picked green the first 2 times, and that was right. What the hell? Okay, so that's the interesting thing, is I don't know if that's picking up on mic, but my neighbor is having a singing session, which is her right. I scream at my TV for fun, so I shouldn't complain. But the fact that I can hear through the walls is a downside of living in an apartment with thin walls. I should not blame the neighbor, regardless. I noted that, like, I don't think the color green shows up in this story. In fact, I think the answer is probably brown that's looking for, because it's the brown-haired girl, right? Brings the brown eyes. Brown eyes. So I guess it's probably brown, but that was the same story we got the first couple times, and I could have sworn I picked green both times. This one's 33 plus the daughter. Oh wait, it's changed! It's making me pay attention. I thought the girl had green eyes though. Or it didn't have green. I thought it was always brown eyes. What the hell? I'm also almost positive it was 33 the first 2 times. Okay, we'll go for brown this time, and then we'll go for, I guess 23 is the answer now. Brown? Spoke the shade as intelligence and emotion. Who cares? Slice through the shade's right arm. The shade extended its remaining arm to Flint. I must touch, I must make contact. This is why it's so confusing, is because so much of the italicized text is from the tree's perspective very clearly, and it seems like the tree is the one talking. And then all of a sudden, Weiss and Flint go, "Oh, the Shade is the one talking," and that's like it is a little bit confusing as to who is thinking and saying what. I guess 23 friends this time. That one never changes. I don't know, maybe it's randomized every time and I just RNG just happened to give me the same version for the first 2 times. I don't know. I don't think I'm crazy. I think those answers changed, which feels weird. Those shades were capable of rational thought. I don't give a damn. I just want to kill shit. Cool. 2/5 of the way there, and we still haven't gotten into our talking points yet.